What's up guys, and this is the Russian Genius, and I am super excited to show you what in my opinion is one of the easiest vanishes for beginners, but also a little bit difficult at the same time, and I really hope that you will enjoy this. Smash the like button if you enjoy this video and make sure to post a comment below of what you think. Also, this right here is actually my new favorite deck of cards. These decks are actually expensive to create and they feel amazing. If you want to buy this deck, I will put a link in the description, but let's move on into the video. I'm gonna be showing you a vanish that looks like this. So look, any card is selected and any card is vanished. Let's say the Queen of Diamonds. So look, the way the Queen is gonna vanish is actually like this. That is Putin, by the way. Hey Putin, what's up? I have a bunny, very cool bunny. So look, the Queen of Diamonds is gonna vanish from the deck, and here's what it's gonna look like. I'm gonna take the Queen and I'm just gonna palm it off like this, and it's gonna happen really fast. It's a little bit difficult because you have to be really precise with the hand placement, and also the table needs to be very clean. So look, I'm gonna take it and let's see if we are able to do it. The table needs to be really clean and it needs to be around the middle of the table, and the entire palm needs to cover it, so no windows, no flashing at all, and then you should be able to make it vanish. Wait, here's what I mean, alright? Queen of Diamonds, gonna put it here, alright? Now look, wait, no windows as you can see, going to put it into the center of the table, and here's what's gonna happen, alright? Going to squeeze it in, and it vanishes just like that, visually. That is the vanish. It is a super cool vanish to do, and I really hope that you enjoy this. You might ask me, where is the card? It is right over there in the air. This is, hey, that actually rhymes, but who cares? I don't know. Hey Putin, bro, how are you? Anyways, that is my third favorite vanish. My favorite vanish of all time looks like this, as you can see, and it's actually quite visual, but also super difficult to do. I want to take the time and do it from this angle so you can see what it looks like, and also how it looks like in slower speed, and maybe even try to follow along. So let's say that the Ace of Spades is the card that we are gonna vanish. I'm gonna do this in speed, and then I'm gonna do it a little bit slower and you can try to follow along. But in speed, from this angle, it would look like this. I'm gonna take the ace and it is going to vanish from the hand. It can be a little bit difficult to do because, first of all, let me just clean off the table. And now my hand is gonna go on top, and there needs to be no gaps, because when the card vanishes, it's extremely difficult to vanish it like this. It needs to be vanished when no one sees it, and that is the complicated part. So look, you remember the card, the Ace of Spades. I'm gonna put it right there, and here's what I'm going to do. Snap my fingers, wave over the hand, and it vanishes like that. So that is what it looks like in speed, and if we want, we can find the card once again. This is the Three of Spades, but here's what I mean. If I take the Three of Spades, it changes into the Ace, so there it is. Here's what you are going to do. Any card is gonna get selected, and then you are going to pretend to vanish the card simply by you know, palming it off and placing it on the table like this. That is what you're gonna do the first few times, and then what I like to do is I like to switch it. So here's how the switch it looks like, and this is no longer the jack, this is the 4. This is a really cool, quick and incredibly good switch which fools a lot of people, and when done in speed it can look incredibly good. It almost looks like a deal. It's really similar to the second deal. Let me do it in slower speed and you can try to follow along. I'm gonna do it in a step-by-step basis. First, I try to imitate the Vanish by simply laying the card on the table and placing my hand on top. All that you are doing is just doing that, and you're imitating the Vanish. And I do it a few times, and I try to explain to the spectator that the Vanish happens exactly at the center of the table and that the table needs to be clean. I want to do this with the hand, and while I'm doing that with the hand, I do this and I'm able to switch the card like that. So there is no longer the Ace of Spades, the Ace of Spades is on top. And here's how you do the switch. While you're holding the ace, you're gonna get a pinky break below the top card, and then you're gonna square everything up. So now you have a break below the top 2 cards, and you're gonna push everything as one, and you're pushing it not from the center, but you're pushing it from the side. While having the break, you're able to push it almost as a double most of the time. And wait, Putin, are you looking for weed on the floor? Happy 420, by the way! Alright, but look, so I'm only grabbing the bottom and I pull this back, I pull it back, and then I, take this and just boom, put it on the table, just like that. Let me put in the center of the deck, and the Ace of Spades is on top. I grab everything as a double, push like this, take the card, put it down, and I explain to the spectator that when you vanish a card, or when you vanish anything at all in Magic, it's usually hidden in the hand. For example, when you take a coin and you do a coin vanish, you hide the coin for a split second before it vanishes. So the same idea with this. You can't just... It's difficult to just visually vanish, something like this. That is difficult to do. Like, the only vanish where it visually happens is probably the pass, like there's the 2 and it vanishes like this. That is probably the only visual vanish where you don't need to cover the hand, but with this vanish, that's what you want to do. So now, once you have switched the card, you're gonna take it, do this, alright? And then I like to push it over and just drop the top card and then drop the deck, because they think the ace is here, but the ace has been switched, and then you can make it vanish just like that. In speed, the switch would look like this. You tell the spectator, look, I'm gonna make your card vanish. You do this and you tell them, man, the table sucks. There needs to be nothing on the table, and the card needs to go all the way in the center. And like this, I have switched the card. Once again, Ace of Spades on top. You do the switch like that. The ace is right here. So what I do is I pick it up, and now I do the rub-a-dub vanish, or what it's called. I don't know the name. I can't remember how it's spelled. But look, you take it and you're gonna do a vanish that looks like this. And the thing is, even if you flash, even if you do it incorrectly, the method of this vanish makes you clean in the end. Here's what I mean, right? You start off with the ace of spades on top. You try to vanish it, but you can't. And then you tell them, wait, it needs to be in the center like this. And then you're like, oh, let's try it again. And they think that this is the ace. So what you can do is you can push it over like this. They see there's no ace, so they immediately think that here is the ace. And even if you flashed, right? Let's say that you did this and you flashed a little bit. So let's say you kind of flashed. When you do this, you can try to like square up the corners like this, you know, and try to convince them that the ace is actually in the hand. And when they see this card, they will most of the time be totally convinced. The original way of doing this vanish is simply by taking a card. Let's say we use the ace of spades. The most simple way of doing this vanish is simply by taking a selection and just by doing this. But the problem with that vanish is that some people will say, ooh, it's on top. And yes, you can do a double lift if you want to, but it's so much better to be clean so the spectator doesn't know that it's even on top. So you're always one step ahead, which is quite awesome, right? But I will show you this in speed with a different card. Let's say that we select the king of diamonds. The king of diamonds is now gonna vanish from the deck. And as I said before, you have to be very specific with the vanish because it only works in a few conditions. First of all, you know, it needs to be on the table and the fingers needs to be closed. If your fingers are not closed, you can see windows and you might see the card. It needs to be closed so the vanish works. It's really difficult in Magic to vanish cards when everything is open because it doesn't work that way. Hope you understand that. But we should be able to make it vanish when the fingers are closed and when the table is actually, you know, super clean as well. So look, I'm gonna make it vanish right now, or at least I'm gonna try to do it, alright? As you know, I wanted the card to show, alright? But look, like this. Boom, and it vanishes. And if you want the card to reappear, you can actually take the top card and you can do any magical shake or whatever you want to change it back. Even if you want, you can do this. Let's say the selection is the ace of diamonds, right? You can tell them, look, the ace of diamonds is going to, let's see, it's gonna vanish, alright? So you do it like that. And you make the ace of diamonds vanish from the deck, alright, from the hand. Then you can tell the spectator, look, I'm gonna use this card, the top card, to change into the ace, and then you can do it like this. So, you know, it's quite interesting, and I really hope that you will actually enjoy it. You know, it's super cool vanish, and I never liked the original way of doing it. As I said before, the original way of doing it is just by doing it like this, where you have the card and, you know, then you vanish it. But the problem is that the card is on top of the deck. That's kind of the problem. Of course, you can vanish it like this, and you can maybe just palm it off and tell the spectator, look, it's not on top, but it's boom, in the table. That was quite bad, but let me give you a few tips. The first tip that I have is, when I started doing this, I used to do it like this. Now I take the card and I outjog it, and it's you know, squared up at the index finger. So all I have to do is pull back, and that's it. When I pull back, it automatically squares up. If you are a beginner, I recommend just doing it like this, alright? Just like that, because that's good. But the better you get, the more you can try to bend the card away. And then when you grab it, alright, when you cover it with the hand, you pull it back as fast as you can without pulling it like this with the hand, alright? Try pulling it as fast as you can without jerking off your hand everywhere. So, you know, like that, and that's it. If you feel uncomfortable doing this, you can take it, and then you can turn the deck down, and then drop the top card. That is, of course, if you switch to the top card. Here's what I mean, right? You can take it, and then you can instantly turn the deck over. And if you look at it in slow motion, you do this, and when you turn the deck over, you are never really flashing the card. So look, you do it, and then you turn the deck over, and while turning it over, you square it up and put it down. And the angles are almost angle proof, even if you do it slowly, right? Like that. Did you see how slow that was? Just look at the speed of this Vanish. It happens really slowly, but you can still do it if you know the angles. So, you know, like this, alright? And I did flash a little bit, but you know what I mean. And as I said before, needs to be around the center, so let's try it once again. Just gonna take the card like this, snap my fingers, and it actually vanishes like that. Hey, Putin, chilling right there. Like the video for Putin if you want to. So yes, this is actually quite cool, quite easy, quite basic, and it does take a little bit of practice. And also, I don't want to say it's easy, because this took me, I think, like 3 years to learn to do it good, and I don't even know if I'm doing it good, but you know what I mean, right? It just takes a long time. The human hands have never been designed to do card tricks, to do, you know, to do a pass. The hands are not designed for that shit. Another way of vanishing a card could actually be by doing it like this. First of all, there is the ace, and if you want, you can take it like this, and then you can grab it simply like that and put it on the table. I know it doesn't look as convincing, but a lot of magicians have actually been able to successfully do this. Even if you want, you can do this, alright? Look, I'm gonna take away the table. You can actually, if you want to, you have the ace, alright? And you just palm it off. You make it vanish through the jeans, and then you can, however you want, palm off the card, go into your pocket and pick up the card like this and show that there is the ace of spades. If you have an animal, then you can do it against the animal. So you can do it like this. If you have an animal, you can take it and vanish it like this. And then you can take your knife or your gun and you can open up the animal, palm off the card, and then just reach it through the blood and the veins and all the meat. You know, I'm just kidding around. But, you know, hope that you enjoy the Vanish. Also, if you want to buy some of the products that I have and support the channel, then check out TheRussianGenius.com. There is going to be a link in the description, and I really hope that you will enjoy it. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope that you enjoy this. Make sure to like, comment, and share the video, and I will see you guys in my next video.